What's up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And I wanted to get a quick video in before I head out of town and talk about this action on Bitcoin as we approach this critical area where we are either going to have a deep correction or a mild correction and continuation of this rather bullish movement. And please keep in mind that everything that I'm telling you here is not financial advice. Take it with a grain of salt, be careful, and do your own research. But at any rate, looking at this 4-hour chart, we've got a few sneaky little red candles that are forming as we have dropped below the purple dash line. Now, this is a very critical line that was resistance several times, 1, 2, 3, 4 times here in the past, and then it became support here as it bounced off of the line around February the 17th. Then we had another support here. That's the twice. The second time that it bounced as support, and then here's the third one. And you know what I always say, you got the once, twice, 3 times a lady. And then we reverse and we kind of head in the other direction, and we flip from support to resistance. So we have broken the line here, confirmed by 2 full closings of red candles on the 4-hour chart. We have the stochastic headed downstairs, serious momentum downward, and the MACD oscillators are now below the zero line, and the histogram is below the zero line, printing dark red candles, which says the momentum is headed down. Now, how long will it stay here in the oversold zone? I don't know. There are several possibilities of what could happen. Once we enter into this zone, we could kind of fool around here and take one dip and head back up, or it could languish. You never know. Sometimes in the past, we see where the stochastic can stay down in oversold, depending on what the 1-day chart and the 1-week chart look like. So we are sitting at this huge volume node at the point of control price of 23,000, and this is the point where we're going to have to make a decision. Is it going to bounce off of this point of control as support, or is it going to go downstairs and head for this next volume node somewhere around 21,000? Now, let's just clear this out and look at the 1-day chart, and then we're going to look at the DXY and bring up a very interesting point. So here on the 1-day chart, it looks a lot uglier. We have not completed this candle, but if this confirms down below the red-purple, the purple dash line, it's going to continue on and follow through as this stochastic is steeply headed downward. So if we complete a whole cycle down to the oversold zone, we could get down here to this big volume node sticking out at 20,000, or even test the red dash line. Okay, we don't know how long or if this will happen, because from what I'm hearing, March is going to be an ugly month. So we got to go all the way through the end of March and early April to see if we're going to have support at the red dash line, or are we going to revisit the bottom and test that bottom of 14,000 and change, or even go below that. Or will it jump up at the red dash line as support and continue on this bullish movement? The only thing I'm thinking is we haven't completed the bear market cycle. So many people claim that the bottom is in and that this is the start of the bull market. I don't know if I'm ready to believe that or not, and I'm just kind of cautious. I think there's too much bullish sentiment and people guaranteeing that we have seen the bottom and that this is the start of the rally of the bull market. But now let's look at some other contrary evidence. Okay, besides the fact that we are printing a red candle here on the histogram on the 1-day, we have a bearish cross right here. Let's look upstairs and see what's going on with the DXY. A few weeks ago, I warned everybody about the DXY, and I told you that if this is a reversal, if we come out of this box, this green box, that this was the support that would let us know if DXY was ready to flip and become bullish. Now, what are we looking at? We have blasted out of the box right here with 1, 2, 3 confirmed candles, and we're working on the 4th. We also see a very bullish indication on the stochastic where we keep bouncing as support and not dropping back below the 80 line. This is very bullish. And whenever you stay stuck up here in the overbought zone, that means that we have strength. Now look at the oscillators on the MACD rolling up positive and now up into the positive land above the zero line, printing dark green candles on the histogram. Now, the biggest piece of evidence that we have right here to know what's going on with the DXY is the fact that we made it to the 50 or the 200 EMA line. We already made it above the 50 EMA line. Now we had this cross right here, and I don't know if you could call this a death cross or not, but it looks like we're flattening out and this 50 EMA is on the rise. So we are now above the 200 EMA line, and that is very bullish for the DXY. What can happen? Well, we had this romp that went all the way up, and then we broke this black dash line, which said that there's a chance that we have a reversal. We did. We broke this bullish channel, and we went down, and I said, watch out for this zone right here of support and resistance. Well, we found support. There it is right there. And now we have broken out of this channel, and we are up here into the clear sky zone where we might continue this same bullish movement that we had before. This is the previous, and it could be a continuation from this point. And if that happens, we're going to get a nasty correction on Bitcoin. Okay, let's clear this out, and let's look at the 1 week chart for both of these, starting out with the DXY, and flip this here to 1 week. Wow, looks even better here, and this is a strong indication as the stochastic is just shooting straight up. Looks like the cycle is completed. We had the corrective cycle here. We bottomed out. We touched the bottom of the channel, and look at this. Coming out of this bottom, shooting straight up, and now look at the MACD. The oscillators had this bullish movement. Coming out of that, we had the corrective movement, and now what do we have? A potential crossover, a bullish cross of the oscillators. And we are approaching the zero line right there, printing light red bars on the histogram, which says that we're probably going to start printing green bars and making another hump of action right here. And so this means that we could have a continuation of what we had before with this bullish romp. Now let's just flip back over to the Bitcoin chart on the 1 week. What do we see? A red candle forming right here as we drop below the purple dash line. Now, we do see that the stochastic peaked out and it turned over right here. And we see that the fast line and the slow line are in parallel, but they're both pointing downward. We see that the action on the MAC, the oscillators were looking really good as they came up, but now they could be reversing because we have one light green bar on the histogram. So are we about to approach this zero line again and go back into negative territory? I don't know. But looking at the volume nodes on the 1 day, we can see what the targets are. We're sitting at the point of control price that was on that 4-hour chart. And the next big volume node is right there at the red dash line. The next one below that is at the black dash line, right below that line. And if this does not hold support, we can go downstairs and revisit these very bearish projections that some people are giving. They give the possibility of revisiting 10 to 11,000. Now, are we going to get down to that low? I don't know. The probability is looking like we're stuck in this zone of consolidation here. So it's probably most likely that we bounce out of this zone and move up out of it and start the bull market later on this year. But it is possible, less likely, that we fall out of this. If we fall below this black dash line here, chances are we could revisit this bottom right there and then fall down and go into the abyss. So maybe it's of less probability, but just keep in mind that it could happen. So I'm looking for a correction at some point because it has to happen one more time because all of the indications in the world economy are bearish. We are getting several warnings from very well-known prognosticators and economists that the stock market's going to take a hit. And if the stock market takes a hit, Bitcoin will be affected. Looking at the DJI right now, and we're forming a red candle right there. So we have very bearish indications on this stochastic that is bleeding out. We have a bearish cross happening with the oscillators on the MACD, and we are approaching the zero line, about to go into negative territory. So if this crash happens, we could come to these little nodes on the VPVR, or we could fall all the way down to the peak of this cluster here, or the point of control price at 24,500. And if this happens, it's going to yank down the crypto market. So just watch out and look for that. And be prepared, because if the market sinks, I'm going to be playing the DCA game and picking up all my favorite alts and maybe a little bit of Bitcoin. And again, don't take that as financial advice. I'm just rolling the dice and taking a chance. I can't predict what's going on, and I'm not guaranteeing it. And anybody who is posting videos guaranteeing that we've hit the bottom or that we're definitely going to hit 10,000, you need to take that with a grain of salt. So that's all I've got for now. I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And I would appreciate your support. If you want to help me defray the cost of producing this channel, you may do so with a super thanks. And I thank you in advance. That is all I've got for now. This is Carlton, and I am out.